Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, future Israelis and current Americans still in denial about health insurance costs, this is your captain speaking. I'm broadcasting live from the cockpit of Flight Reality Check 2026. And I've got some news that's going to hit harder than finding out your favorite falafel guy just raised his prices to 18 shekels. The free Aliyah flights, they're dead. Deader than my bubby's gefilte fish recipe. Deader than the dreams of every millennial who thought they could afford a one-bedroom in Tel Aviv. They've gone the way of the dodo, affordable housing, and customer service representatives who actually speak the same language as you. You know what this is? This is the Jewish agency pulling the ultimate bait and switch. For decades, and I mean decades, people, they've been out there like some kind of airborne drug dealers. Psst, hey kid, wanna make Aliyah? First flight's free. Come on, just try it. What's the worst that could happen? You might fall in love with a country where arguing is an Olympic sport and nobody knows how to form a proper queue. And we fell for it. Oh boy, did we fall for it. Hook, line, and complimentary airplane peanuts. There was a time, a beautiful, innocent time, when all you needed was to prove you had one Jewish grandparent somewhere in your family tree. Didn't matter if Grandpa Morris converted for the bagels and stayed for the guilt. The Jewish agency would practically throw airplane tickets at you like they were Purim candy. "Welcome aboard El Al," they'd say. "Here's your free ticket, your 2 free checked bags, because God knows you're bringing your entire life in suitcase form, and here's some complimentary anxiety about whether you've made a terrible mistake." The golden age, people. When the hardest decision was whether to take the aisle seat, better access to the bathroom during that 11-hour journey of self-reflection, or the window seat so you could dramatically gaze out at the clouds while questioning every life choice that led you to this moment. Airplane safety announcement in background. In case of emergency, oxygen masks will drop down. Please secure your own mask before helping others, which is basically training for Israeli society. But now... oh no, now they've discovered something called fiscal responsibility. Suddenly they're acting like El Al economy tickets don't grow on kibbutz trees. Now you get to experience the joy, the absolute pleasure, of shopping for flights like some common tourist. You'll be hunched over kayak at 3 a.m., refreshing the page like you're trying to get Taylor Swift tickets, except instead of screaming teenage girls, you're competing with other delusional Jews who think they can find a sub-$800 flight to Ben Gurion during high season. Oh look, there's one for $1,200. Wait, that's just the taxes. The actual fare is $2,300, plus a $400 fee for breathing Israeli air during the flight, plus another $150 if you want to actually land at the airport instead of being parachuted somewhere over the Mediterranean. And don't even get me started on what they're offering instead. Flight reimbursement, they call it. You know what flight reimbursement means in Jewish agency speak? It means they'll give you 64 shekels, enough to buy exactly one overpriced airport sandwich, and a pamphlet about successful kibbutz vegetable gardens from 1987. Mazal tov on your Aliyah. Here's enough money to cover your taxi from the airport to the bus station, where you can contemplate your choices while waiting for the number 480 to take you to your absorption center. You want to check a third bag? That'll be 350 shekels, plus the emotional trauma of explaining to the El Al check-in agent why you absolutely need to bring 3 different coffee makers to a country that runs on instant Nescafe and pure willpower. But sir, this is my French press, this is my espresso machine, and this is my backup coffee maker for when the first 2 break down because nothing works properly in the Middle East. Sir, you can check one coffee maker. Which one? They're like my children. Want to sit next to your spouse during the flight? Well, isn't that romantic? That'll be an extra 200 shekels, assuming you can prove you're actually married and not just 2 random Jews who met in line and decided to make Aliyah together because the Wi-Fi was down and you had nothing better to do. But here's the real kicker. They're still playing that inspirational music when you land. You know the one. The string section swells, someone's grandmother starts crying, and the pilot comes on the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Israel, where your dreams come true and your credit card debt begins. Only now, instead of feeling like Moses leading the Jews out of Egypt, you feel like Moses if he had to pay for his own burning bush, and the shipping costs weren't included in the 10 Commandments package deal. Welcome home, they'll say as you stumble off the plane, jet-lagged and financially traumatized. That'll be 3,280 shekels for the privilege. Cash, credit, or firstborn child. And when you call the Jewish agency to complain, because of course you're going to call and complain, you're Jewish, it's literally in your DNA, you'll get connected to Yael from accounts. Sweet Yael, who's never met a budget cut she didn't like, will tell you with the enthusiasm of someone reading ingredients off a cereal box. We're focusing our resources elsewhere now. We wish you Behatzlacha with your financial recovery. Elsewhere, Yael? Where is elsewhere? Are you funding a secret space program to establish the first kibbutz on Mars? Are you developing time travel technology so people can go back and get those free flights? What exactly is elsewhere? Maybe elsewhere is a new luxury office building where 5 interns answer emails once every lunar cycle. Maybe it's a sophisticated filing system where your complaints go to die. Maybe elsewhere is just a very expensive coffee machine for the executive break room because apparently decent espresso is more important than helping Jews fulfill their ancestral dreams of arguing about hummus prices in Hebrew. But you know what? Maybe this is actually brilliant. Maybe this is the Jewish agency's master plan to prepare us for real Israeli life, where nothing is free, everything is complicated, and you'll get yelled at by at least 3 different government clerks before 9 a.m. on any given Tuesday. Think about it. By making you pay full price for your Aliyah flight, they're giving you a preview of what's coming. Want to open a bank account? That'll cost you. Want to understand why your water bill is written entirely in ancient Aramaic? That's extra. Want to figure out why there are 17 different agencies responsible for issuing the same document and they're all in different buildings across the country? Welcome to Israel. That'll be your sanity and possibly your will to live. By the time you land in Ben Gurion, broke and confused, you'll already be perfectly prepared for the Israeli experience. You'll fit right in with everyone else who's wondering where their money went and why everything takes 6 times longer than it should. So here's to all you future olim out there, courageously refreshing Expedia at 2 a.m., calculating whether it's cheaper to fly via Istanbul, Dubai, or apparently the moon. Just remember, you may not be getting a free flight anymore, but you'll still get free opinions from every taxi driver, free sunburn because you forgot sunscreen is a necessity, not a luxury, free stress from trying to understand your Arnona bill, and free entertainment watching other immigrants have mental breakdowns at the Misrad Hapnim. But hey, and this is important, you're not moving to Israel for the perks. You're moving because somehow, despite the bureaucracy that would make Kafka weep, despite the cost of living that makes Manhattan look affordable, despite the fact that everything closes for Shabbat exactly when you need it most, this place still feels like home. Even if you have to mortgage your future to get here. You're moving because there's something magical about a country where the barista knows your coffee order after 2 visits, where strangers will argue with you about politics for 20 minutes and then invite you for Shabbat dinner, where the worst traffic jams somehow turn into impromptu social gatherings, and where complaining about everything is considered a form of patriotism. So pack light, dream big, and remember, the Jewish agency may have stopped funding flights, but they definitely haven't stopped funding the experience of trying to explain Israeli bureaucracy to people who think the DMV is complicated. This has been Aliyah and Chill, broadcasting live from the departure lounge of broken dreams and expensive airplane tickets. Stay delusional, keep your receipts, and remember, if you can survive paying for your own Aliyah flight, you can probably survive anything Israel throws at you, including the person who will inevitably cut in front of you at the check-in counter and then act like you're the problem. Welcome home, and good luck affording it.